kind of definitive, isn't it, really? And I think from the commentary and what they said about it, the way that John Champion summed up kind of City at the moment, and how impressive that was from Liverpool's side that have shown us over, what are we now, 27 games? They can win in an expansive way, an exciting way, an attacking way, and they can win in other ways where they're okay to sit back and suffer a little bit in terms of working and not having the ball, which, as we know, is not nice. Like, that's not enjoyable, but they're happy to do that, and they've got the power, the strength to win in that way and in the other way I've just talked about. They've got a special player in Mo Salah. And just the football club, Rebecca, you know, the job that the club's done. Richard Hughes is director of football, talking about recruitment and decisions. He brings in Arne Slot. They do very little, spend very little money. Chiesa, for $16 million in the summer, nothing in January. The manager, over a period of time, has figured out what he's got in terms of what his players can do. So he can play a system like that, where he can trust Jones and Szoboszlai to play as false nines, if you like, because he knows their attributes will work well in a game like this. So the whole thing is coming together beautifully at Liverpool. At City, we're transitioning.
Do you think Arne Slot will have been surprised by quite how straightforward this has been so far?
I think we're doing him a slight disservice if we think so straightforward backs. I think there's still been a lot of work going on behind the scenes. I don't think you can walk into a football club. As you've just mentioned, Liverpool were 9 points behind Manchester City last season. Yes, they've won the title and they were in the race last year, but they were falling away and we felt like a change needs to come. He's come into the football club. He's added something where he's made this team slightly more adaptable, and they can look at the opposition and look to nullify your strengths. And they don't feel they're that big that they don't have to do that. They're prepared to do that on days like today. They dominated the game without having the ball, which is one of the most difficult things for a football club to do. So huge credit to Arne Slot. I don't think it's as easy as just saying, oh, well, I went into Klopp's dressing room and made a few people happy. Tactically, he's got things right, and he's got a team now who can win in many different ways. It's not heavy metal football, but it's still as impressive.
Yeah, he just makes it look so easy, doesn't he? John Champion mentioned the baton passing maybe today from Manchester City to Liverpool. How permanent an exchange do you think that might be?
It could be. It could be quite permanent, given what we've just talked about in terms of Richard Hughes, the director of football, and a manager. It looks like he's the next special one in some ways. You know, the guy that was tipped to go to different clubs in the Premier League. We know that. The owners of other clubs were looking at Arne Slot. Liverpool went with him. And the age profile of the team looks pretty good. Those young players have come in. They must have a lot of money. They must have a lot of money stashed by Liverpool, because, like I said, they haven't spent much over the last 12 months. And the contract situations are a bit concerning, particularly, I think Trent's probably going to leave. I think Real Madrid is a very appealing prospect for him. And Van Dijk and Salah is the big question marks in terms of how permanent, because that is going to have an impact about how they do next year, Rob, isn't it? In terms of which one of those, if not both of them, they can keep.
You agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. You know, one end of the pitch, the other. I saw Van Dijk today, and we have an ISO camera where we just stay with a certain player. There were times he was so encouraging of his teammates. He was making sure people did their jobs. His defensive situations were so good. As a captain of Liverpool, and they've had some brilliant captains down the year, he's up there with some of the very best. And on a day when it needed leadership and it needed players to make sure they were doing the job, he was right on the money. And he's going to be so important. And I just get the sense that he'll be there next season.
Mo Salah.
Yeah.
How good are we talking in the grand scheme of things when you start looking and comparing to others?
Well, he's right up there, isn't he? He's right up there in terms of being a regular goal scorer. Goal scoring is the hardest thing. And the numbers that he's getting is phenomenal. And from a wide position, Rob talked about it earlier on, it is the Salah position. The scoring winger now is and it's been a big deal for a while, to be fair, and particularly in Spain, you know, when you think about Messi and Ronaldo. But Mo Salah, like in terms of Premier League legends, Rob, is right up there.
And just finally, Bex, for me, on the day, almost a little bit of a sad day for an end of an era, and you saw like Kevin De Bruyne today, who couldn't really influence the game, maybe not 100% fit and not right. But, you know, we've had this great City team and some great players, none better than Kevin De Bruyne, and it was kind of sad when he came off today, because we've seen some of the great things he's done over the years.
The chaps at half-time talked about a couple of S's. We had Salah, we had Szoboszlai. Let's hear from them both now.